Well, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that my suspicions were correct. There is something wrong with the tree. I will report my findings to Mast immediately with no small amount of satisfaction. The phrase, "I told you so," may even be uttered more than once. Yes, it does feel good to be right, particularly when others have attempted to convince you otherwise. Repeatedly. The bad news, as it were, is that the internal composition of the tree is changing. In this particular case, the tree is now regularly emitting ultra-low frequency sound waves. They're nearly imperceptible now, but they're growing in strength. This is something we've never observed before. Depending on how large these waves grow, consequences for the city could be disastrous. I must consult with my colleagues in Mast at once. Thank you for your assistance. I hope these credits are adequate compensation.
The STEP plans were thrown out the window and a chaotic battle ensued. After all, the STEP forces arrived. Outmatched Crimson Fleet managed to
Beats me, but the financials make sense.
Well then, we're going to have to give you one hell of a send-off.
You, madam, have a deal.
Their story just doesn't make sense.
Definitely.
Don't call them out.
Diplomatic visa? You got to be kidding me. Envoys haven't needed diplomatic visas since the colony war.
The law's the law, sir. And that one's still on the books. New Atlantis Security Charter 2308 Addendum, Article 2, Section 8.
Ludicrous. You made all that up. There is no such addendum. The war ended almost 20 years ago. I am Representative Evans Chisholm of the Freestyle Collective. I've been coming here for months trying to ensure continued peace.
I don't make up the laws, Representative. I just enforce them. You have a good day now. Someplace else. How are you today?
What? Can't you see I'm dealing with something? Did you not hear? They won't let me enter the city. Me, a political envoy who comes here constantly trying to help prevent another war. And this is the thanks I get? They won't let me enter without a diplomatic visa? Ridiculous. Oh, really? And here I am biting your head off. Apologies. I'm just, well, rather flustered. Look, if you have time, could you please go to the Freestyle Collective Embassy and speak to a diplomat? They'll know what to do. Thank you. I'll wait here until the embassy sends the cavalry. Not like I have much choice.
Is there a problem? You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep moving. Okay, no bounty. You're clear. Enjoy your visit.
Well, hello. You hear about the job by any chance? The officer over there can help you with any bounty issues. Part-time security officer. The position's very flexible. You can basically work whenever you're available. No pressure. We've had some gaps in the schedule lately. Macy's out on maternity leave, Jose's on loan to Sidonia. When it rains, it pours type of situation. So really, we just need someone to fill the void. Interested? Well, first things first, I have to ask, do you have any security experience at all? It sure counts for something. I mean, you're alive, and resilience is definitely an important trait for any officer. Well, I think I've heard all I need. Your first assignment couldn't be easier. Go to Mast and check in with Agent Plato at Aegis. There was a package left at a dead drop, and they need UC security to handle it. He'll fill you in on the details. You know, Mast. The Military, Administrative, and Scientific Triumvirate. Giant building in the center of the city? Headquarters of the entire United Colonies? I really should have given you a more thorough interview. Aegis? They're basically UC intelligence. They help identify threats to New Atlantis before they become problems. While we're separate departments, there are times we need to rely on each other, so it's important to keep a good working relationship. We do Agent Plato this favor, and maybe he'll toss us some intel when an investigation stalled. Tit for tat. You know how it works. Well, just because you're bringing it here doesn't mean that's where it'll end up. As for why, you can ask Aegis. As far as I'm concerned, it's none of my business. Let me know if you have any questions.
Got a call, someone's power kept going out. Know what it was? A heat leech, as long as my leg. Yeah.
It's amazing. If you're in the market for artwork...
Shh! Are you crazy?
Keep your damn voice down. Oh, get off your high horse. I didn't trick you. You're just not very observant. What do you have to complain about? You're getting paid? Everything went smoothly. No one got hurt. It's all part of the game, my friend. It pays to get your hands a little bit dirty. It pays very, very well. But I digress. Thank you for your discretion. Now that our little transaction is complete, I should be on my way. Take care, and let's not talk about this again. That's of no concern to you. I told you at the end of our business that we will not speak about it. Do not mention my work again. See you.
I am busy right now. If you need something, why don't you talk to Emoli? She'll take care of you.
Boys, so much to see, so much to learn. Life is beautiful in that way, yes? Me? Why, to be frank, I don't do much. Not anymore, at least. And that suits me just fine. Yes. I now live to collect artifacts from Earth. You see, every artifact tells a story. Even spoons and forks, which most take for granted. People laugh at me when they see I collect old Earth spoons. But think about it, friend. Spoons change the course of history. Can you imagine life without them? Ah, the usual things, I suppose. Fame, fortune, power. I'm only joking, of course. I've actually been fortunate to call New Atlantis home for many years. For a collector, like myself, I do believe there's no better place in all the settled systems. I've been charmed to make the acquaintance of many fellow old Earth enthusiasts here in New Atlantis. And that is why I continue to stay.
Oh, please, take a look. Thanks for coming in.
I am not trying to pester you, but I really do need that credit transfer to cover for last month's deliveries.
What? Really? Wasn't that included in the transfer from last week?
No, that was for handling the shipments, not deliveries.
Oh, okay. I'll try and remember. I swear, lately I feel like I'm spending more time at Galvin than I am here.
Yes, what? You're back! What do you say? Will you take me with you? I guess that's goodbye then? Safe travels!
Hey there. Always nice to see a new face. First time in New Atlantis? Oh boy, I didn't mean for you to take it personally. It's just something to say to customers. Break the ice, know what I mean? Listen, you just relax. Make yourself comfortable. You're welcome to stay as long as you want. That work for you, new guy? Let me know if there's anything I can get you. Yep. Spaceport traffic keeps me pretty busy. But just between you and me, I've got something in the works that'll change everything. A new drink that'll make this place famous, galaxy-wide. You would love it, I guarantee. Only, I can't make you one right now. Don't have the ingredients. I made a deal with a hauler to bring me some small samples of an ingredient I think will make all the difference. But it never showed up. Turns out the guy I hired was also hired by a few other folks. The kind of folks who ship less than legal cargo. Security got wind, and the whole lot was impounded. Now they're just sitting on it, taking their sweet time like they always do. It's killing me. Very clever of you. Your parents must be so proud. And really, I'm not even certain this is what I need to finish the recipe. I think it is. I need to get my hands on that cargo. I really do. It's gonna keep me awake nights if I don't try. Before we say anything else, I am in no way asking you to do anything that might violate any of the many, many laws in place here in New Atlantis or the larger United Colonies. This is just one friend talking to another friend, asking if maybe that friend could possibly find a way to get her important cargo out of the impound. And if, hypothetically, that were done in a less than 100% legal way, well, that might not be the worst thing in the world. You, with me on this? God, you have no idea what a relief this is. I'm obviously not expecting you or anyone to go in guns blazing and taking hostages or something. I just figure there has to be a way to get what I need. I know a few things, but not much. The cargo is being held down at the spaceport, not in the security office. Still, they use the same access cards. If you had one, it'd work. How or why you would have a UC security access card is none of my business, of course. I'm sure I'm better off not knowing. Beyond that, the ship decks over there might also be able to get in. I don't know any of them, or I'd be talking to them instead of you. No offense. Like I said, I submitted the usual security release forms. But because my cargo is tied up with a bunch of, again, totally unrelated illegal stuff, I don't expect the forms to matter. At all. I went and talked to an officer at the office, too. Yumi. Sergeant, maybe? He was polite, but unhelpful. I declined to suggest that as their new slogan. New Atlantis Security. Polite, but unhelpful. Truth in advertising, eh? Yeah, this is hardly a life or death situation. Some light breaking and entering at worst, right? I'm obviously not expecting you or anyone to go in guns blazing and taking hostages or something. I'm not worried. I'm annoyed. Wait, are you saying I should be worried? No, of course not. It'll be fine. Totally fine. I trust you. You know, I had a guy in here last week ranting that General Shao ought to send the Marines down into the well. I'm usually all for letting folks speak their mind. Most times it can't be helped after a few drinks. But that was just too much. Anybody stuck living in the well, it almost certainly isn't by choice. And things down there aren't that bad. Bit of a slow news day around here. Ah, well, Speaking of news, some folks are convinced David Barron, you know, the SSN anchor, is some sort of Freestar sympathizer. Ridiculous, if you ask me. Sure, they ran a couple of stories about Aquila City that weren't totally critical, but come on. Have you ever been? It's really not that bad. Anyway, that's the sort of high-stakes stuff people talk up while waiting on a flight. So glad you asked, aren't you? I can tell. Well, that's what I'm here for. What'll it be? See you around.
Hello.
Okay, hello.
Hey, if you're looking for a weapon specialist, I could really use the work to pay off some debts. The kind that need to be paid off quickly, or else I'm in big trouble. And if you don't mind, I'd kind of like to keep the details of that to myself. Unless you're agreeing to hire me, of course. I'm not asking for that much. Just my fair share. You're asking me to work for less than the going rate? Why would I do that? Sorry, but I can't. There's nothing to talk about. I've already made myself clear. Yeah, I hope so. That's a good one. I hear you. I don't get it. I can't afford to cut you a deal. I'm sorry. Then quit wasting my time. If you change your mind, you know where to find me.
You picked a good day to drop by. Bartender's making them strong today. You in town for business? You're with Constellation? Damn, that's cool. I've always admired you guys. Exploring the stars full-time seems like a dream come true. It seems like we have that in common. Personally, I'm here looking for work. I just quit my job as a weapon tester for MAST. Well, I'll be damned. What a coincidence. Working on a ship sounds perfect. I was hoping my next job would get me out of the city. What's your offer? I'm a reasonable guy, but that's just too low. All right. I'll look elsewhere then. If you change your mind, you can find me here.
You're out there a lot, right? In space? Just do us all a favor and
Have you
never
got the
turn into
data?
one of those spacers.
So you tracked it down. You've got something to show for it?
Even the Crimson Fleet don't trust him.
Great. I'll get this back to Mass for analysis. I'm not stupid. I know Zoe probably made you an offer. I appreciate that you didn't take it. And I'm really glad we got to work together on this. Looks like maybe someone thought they could hack into Calibank's system. In fact, looks like maybe they did. Still want to claim you had nothing to do with this, Zoe?
My dear, why in the world would I want to break the law? And Galbank, no less. I do quite enough business with them as it is.
All right. Well, I'll have some people look over this. Maybe they'll be in touch.
I very much doubt that.
See you around.
Another day, another shift.
No lawyer. Can't say I'll have what you need, but you're welcome to look. Ain't much, but take a look. A reporter. Fine, but I'm only talking basics. I don't like people snooping around my business. Door's still open, isn't it? That's my idea of success. Sorry if you were hoping for something more flowery. Name's Henrik. I own Apex Electronics. That's all I'm willing to say to some nosy reporter. How the hell do you think? Life's a mess down here. I'm not holding my breath for it to get any better. Great! Now why don't you help me out and buy something? I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Captain, Constellation will be waiting for you, and I am relieved you...
Nice to see a fresh face around here. Do you know why this place has stood for so long? I make sure everyone's comfy. I tell it like it is, and I don't take any shit.
Everyone's welcome, so long as you keep your hands to yourself. Understand? No causing trouble in here. No real menus to speak of, but I'm happy to get you something. Absolutely. I'm sure my mom would be proud to have the place featured in an article. What's up? Business is steady, as usual. We don't tolerate violence or disrespect, so a lot of folks like to spend time here. The only thing that's worrying me is a new group of customers I've seen hanging around lately. They've been watching the UC surplus store pretty closely. I have a bad feeling they might be planning something. Kay's house has a reputation as a safe place. I don't want to be associated with that kind of thing. Honestly, I'd really appreciate that. I'd feel terrible if something happened and I hadn't done anything to try to stop it. Why don't you come by when you have some spare time? And we'll talk it out. Yeah, sure thing. I'm Teresa Mason, and this is my home. My mom's the Kay who founded Kay's house. I grew up here along with the business. My mom passed the place on to me when she decided to retire. Running it is my pride and joy. I've put everything I have into it. Same as ever. I've lived in the well my whole life, and things have never really changed. The UC government promises to clean the place up every couple years, but there's still just as much crime and poverty as there was when I was a kid. That's why Kay's house is so important. It's the one place people in the well feel safe. Be sure to put that in the article, okay? I'm really proud of it. Great. Let me know when the article comes out, will you? I'd like to read it.
I've got limited resources. I try not to turn anyone away just because they're light on credits. We're no Reliant Medical down here, but if you've got credits, I might have something for you. A journalist? That's a surprise. Most people don't think anything that goes on in the well is worth writing about. I'd be happy to help if I can. Things are always rough at the Med Bay. I'm the closest thing to a doctor that the well has, and I can't treat everyone. The last few weeks have been especially bad. There's some kind of infection going around, and a lot of kids down here are catching it. It just breaks my heart to see. Oh, you're sweet to offer. There might be something you can do, if you're willing. Let's chat again when you have some time to spare, all right? Sure, if you'd like. My name's Talia. I was born and raised right here in the well. I've been the nurse here at the Med Bay for over a decade now. Once upon a time, I was a combat medic for the UC Navy. When the colony war ended, I came back to the well to put my skills to use for the people here. Things are always the same in the well. Violent and dangerous. I swear I treat more injuries here than I did when I was a Navy medic. All right, dear. You let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. We're doing the best we can here. That's all we can ever do. Oh, you remembered. I'm touched, dear, really. Yes, there's absolutely something you can do to help. All the children seem to have the same stomach bug, but I'm having trouble diagnosing it. Pediatrics isn't my specialty. But one of my colleagues, Dr. Lebedev, is an expert. If I had his research notes, I'm sure I could diagnose the disease and find a treatment. you so much. I really appreciate it. I'd go myself, but I can't leave the medbay unattended.
No shortage of hungry mouths to feed around here. If you haven't, make sure you say hello to Mama. She likes checking in with everyone. Would you? I'd really appreciate it. I saw them hanging around the UC surplus earlier today. They sure looked suspicious to me. They've been coming here regularly for the last couple weeks, and all they do is sit on the balcony and watch the UC surplus. I thought I heard them mention a robbery, but I'm not sure. They seem to know I'm onto them, so they stop talking about it when I'm around. That's not how I want this handled. Kay's place is the only safe haven in the well. I can't condone violence. If anyone's going to handle them, it should be security. But I have to be sure they're up to something before I get the authorities involved. I don't want to get anyone on security's bad side for no reason. Why don't you do a little sleuthing for me? Maybe you'll have better luck eavesdropping on them than I did. We can decide what to do once we figure out if they're really up to something.
Stay as long as you like. And don't be a stranger.
Be careful if you run into those incoming security. Find out what they
For years, Allied Armaments has been the premier supplier of private firearms. But this coveted position needs women. Laredo Firearms has been ramping up production in Aquila City and are taking away market share.
I've got a slogan for our new ship class. It's like riding a cloud.
That doesn't even make sense. Clouds are slow, wet.
It doesn't.
Never forget what the FC did. Never forget. Down with the FC. Well, I want it torn down, of course. The fact that there's even an embassy for them here after what they did, it's infuriating. Tear it down. Tear it all down. Ha! Diplomacy? That doesn't mean anything to the FC. They'll break any law and treaty that they feel like. It doesn't matter to them. What's my problem with them? Really? I'm keeping the FC accountable for the terrible things they've done. The Colony War was an unforgivable tragedy. Countless lives could have been spared, but the Freestar Collective was out for blood. The Freestar Collective took my father away from me. Oh, please. Grief has nothing to do with it. Facts are facts. And the fact of the matter is that my dad would be alive if the FC never broke the Treaty of Narian. Uh-huh.